just went live here in Williston, North Dakota. I'm going to switch around to the other camera and throw this. We are live for the Williston, North Dakota small town version of apparently law enforcement is after someone. Not sure who, what, or why. But again, we are live here in Williston, North Dakota. Not sure exactly who law enforcement officers going after. Sorry about the wind noise, folks. Yeah, it's a little breezy. I do have slightly better mics on my earbuds. Hopefully that's going to help us a little bit. Let's get this camera mounted where it belongs. Now hold on one second, folks. I'm gonna make an alteration here. Sorry about the messing around here. Sorry, folks. Give me just a second here. Give me just a second here. I'm working on it. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. Let's put the lens protectors back on. Boy, that phone is dirty under that cover, isn't it? All right, folks, there we go. All right. We are live here in Williston, North Dakota, but I do know there is a lot of coverage going on right now nationwide, so the amount of people available for the live are probably going to be pretty limited. Hopefully we will get some participation here. Got a lot of horn honking, but honestly, before I went live, a lot of folks that were, we kind of walked by, checked out all the signs, and looked at everybody's signs and had a few conversations with people, with folks about what their signs meant. Let them know who we are, that we're here in support of constitutional rights, not any political opinion or anything like that. And so the conversations have been good. The protest has been completely peaceful here in Williston, North Dakota, small town. I guess the small towns, it's not going to be got a fire engine coming out down there for some reason. Wonder what he's responding to. right, folks. Yeah. Fire engine coming by. Looks like we got another emergency response vehicle coming by now. First responders just doing their job, but we have been peaceful here today. There's a gentleman across the street there wearing I don't know if it's supposed to be Chewbacca or just a gorilla suit, or pretty cool. He is in support of Trump. Got a couple of people walking around with him a few times, and people honking and giving him the thumbs up, people honking and giving these folks in the No Kings protest quite a bit of support, honking, and thumbs up, and you know, all the things. So we're gonna hang out here on live here. He said that they were going to be here today, so let's see what happens. %. We're doing good there. So we are live now.
Oh my God, yes it does.
We might take a walk back over to the car here in a little bit. But I didn't have a whole lot of expectation for the live today because there are so many people who are out themselves collecting content and creation, and people who are watching other lives. They're some of the larger cities, some of the bigger cities are probably have some pretty violent things going on, folks. And but here, honestly, these folks have been pretty peaceful, and they're not blocking traffic, not doing anything to incite any kind of violence or anything hostile. They are assembling as they can under their constitutionally protected rights, which is what we support, and doing it peacefully. They're not blocking traffic for the most part. I mean, I've been able to walk up and down this sidewalk while interacting with them, with these folks here. They're not even blocking the sidewalk, you know. Pedestrian traffic can make their way by as much as vehicle traffic. They haven't been doing anything to break any laws or do anything that would be considered violent or even hostile. Or
How's it going?
how you doing?
Good.
You got a petition or?
No, I'm getting email addresses for the Democratic Party.
Oh, okay, I got you.
We're going to sign up, get emails.
While I'm in this capacity as a journalist, I have to remain unbiased. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries.
I try to not affiliate on any side. The point of my channel is constitutional rights. Hopefully brings everyone together. I know which side of the aisle you're from. We're all born with human rights that and many of them are being expressed here today.
Right.
The right to assemble, the right to redress our government. This is awesome. I'm watching constitutional rights exercised.
What station are you with?
I will tell you, you're very kind of polite. My channel is called Two Arms Auditing. Normally I do audits, constitutional audits on law enforcement, government agencies. This is the first time I've done a protest. It's not my normal what I do, but I was like, our channel's about constitutional rights. That's what's happening here. It doesn't matter what your opinion is or which side of the aisle you're from. That's what's happening here. Everybody's expressing their rights, and it's fantastic. I love it.
All right.
But
Cool.
hey, thank you.
All right.
You have a great
Take care,
day.
man.
But again, I didn't have any expectations of the live going really very much right now, because obviously there are lives in places like LA, Chicago, and places like that where there's probably pretty violent things going on that's got people's attention a lot more than, and it's unfortunate because we should have more attention on where people are doing this correctly, you know, exercising their constitutional rights in a lawful and peaceful manner. You know, we should be showing people doing that. And of course, law enforcement is here, and they've picked up a few traffic violations. Driving by rolling full, or doing things that are unsure for moving stop. It's just minor traffic violations. That's of course not what we do, but at some point here, we are definitely going to go over there and talk to law enforcement and ask them if they understand what the constitutional rights are here. And, what rights can and cannot be. Maybe we'll get a good interview with a law enforcement officer who does know our rights. Because that is what we usually do. That is our usual swing of things. Let's take a walk over here. There's a smaller group of people, but still, folks nonetheless over here who are nice like. There are folks over here that are also exercising their rights. Kind of wraps around the corner over here. I love seeing Old Glory flying all up and down the street. That is pretty awesome. It is pretty awesome to see Old Glory flying here in Williston, North Dakota. And we are watching what is actually a peaceful protest, folks. And not only not blocking traffic, not blocking the sidewalks, everybody's exercising their constitutional rights, and that is what we want to see. That is a good thing here in our country. We all have the rights and freedoms to do that. That's been true for a long time. So we are exercising our rights, and we are at least 3 from the First Amendment, which is the right to assemble, the right to freedom of speech, and the right to redress our government. Once again, because we are Two Arms fam, folks, we don't have a political opinion. We are just here to watch and support people exercising constitutional rights. That's it. And it is awesome to see that happening, to see people exercising it peacefully and correctly. And I hope that my town, Williston, North Dakota, regardless of political opinion, is absolutely a great example of how people can come out here, redress their government, assemble peacefully, exercise all of their constitutional rights. Man, this is awesome. I'm loving to witness this, and I'm glad that I can bring you guys here as well. So, what do you have to say about this? Like, what's your opinion behind this?
It's everybody's everybody's right.
True. You're not wrong.
It's being ignored.
I'm sorry?
It's being ignored. It's being disregarded.
But there's absolutely corruption in our government across the board, for sure. True. Thank you. So what I've explained to a lot of folks when I do stop and talk to them is I have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel does not have a political affiliation nor an opinion either way. What my channel is about is constitutional rights. We all have the right to assemble. We all have the right to freedom of speech.
Basic rights.
Yep, right.
Basic rights.
Yes, and that's what my channel is about. No political opinion whatsoever. It doesn't matter which side of the aisle or what your opinion is. We all were given those rights at birth, and they should be protected. And I love seeing my town giving an example of a peaceful protest. Everybody has the right to do everything they're doing, and it's not turning violent, it's not turning hostile, it's not doing like the things you see in the big city where people are setting things on fire, you know, and trying to commit violent acts. And it's nice to see that we as Americans can exercise our rights peacefully. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, thank you. We definitely want to support our veterans. Love seeing Old Glory flying. And we're going to go back around the corner here. A couple of law enforcement agents over here parked. I don't know if they're sitting in traffic or... But they've been hanging out here to make sure. But everything's been pretty peaceful. You know, I think they pulled a couple people over just for minor traffic violations. That's about it. That's the most that's happened here. And law enforcement has also been kind of behaving themselves and just on standby and watching and making sure that, you know, everybody's being peaceful, and it has been. And we're all glad to see it. So I apologize about the wobbling a little bit there, folks. But so yeah, it's been a pretty peaceful day out here, and there's been a few people driving by like that, honking and support, stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. Kind of loving the aspect of seeing, oh, law enforcement's over there with somebody pulled over now, I guess. That's more our angle. We almost might want to go over there and see what they're doing, but they'll get me for jaywalking if I go over there, and I'm kind of wondering what they're up to over there. Kind of wondering what law enforcement is up to over here, folks. If they're going to be respecting rights or not, or maybe extending a traffic stop kind of thing. So what are we doing over here? 2 LEOs with a vehicle pulled over. Just kind of wondering what they're up to, because everybody who's part of Two Arms Fam, you know, that's a little more of our normal focus. That's a little more of what we are normally doing. I don't know, honey, are you in here? If you are, I'm wondering if I should go to the other microphone for the live. Wondering if I should go to the shotgun microphone. Whoever is here in the live, are you hearing me okay? Or should I switch over to my shotgun microphone? There's kind of a breeze when I'm using the earbuds for the live. If the wind is a little too much, somebody let me know. Significance of time, thank you. I'm just learning to do lives. This is kind of my first one, so when you comment, it pops up, but then it disappears again. How can I see that so I can keep reading? Oh, there we go. As a veteran of 18 years, I always pondered why we don't have parades for the birth of nations. Oh, we can hear you fine. I'm not. I'm not, honey. Yeah. Well, I thought my wife might be in here to help answer and let me know how I'm being heard. But yeah, when I'm in the breeze, if anybody does catch on that I'm having a hard time being heard, just let me know. I have a digital shotgun mic that I can connect. I mean, yeah, you're not going to hear me either way when trucks like that go by or people are blowing the horns, but I hope in general that the microphones are picking up well. It's the first time I've ever used the earbuds. Look up what happens if you enter any country illegally and you're to accept all. So just so everybody knows, whoever does come in and out of the live, I'll repeat it several times. We are absolutely not here to have any political opinion on any side. Anyone who is a subscriber and knows what Two Arms Fam does and what we're about is constitutionally protected rights. I will do my best not to give any opinions, and hopefully in the comments section we'll respect that we're not here to debate the political side of this or opinions or bash anyone. Certainly no bashing anyone. That's not what we're here for. We are here just to see people exercising their constitutional rights. Don't care what their opinion is, don't care which side of the aisle they're from, don't care what their position is. We are here to witness people exercising multiple constitutional rights, and that is the most beautiful thing to be happening right underneath of Old Glory. I just absolutely love seeing our constitutional rights exercised here today. And a good example of doing it peacefully, all of these folks so far that I've encountered, very peaceful, very kind, very polite. There's been no problem. They're not only staying clear of traffic, they're keeping the sidewalks clear. Matter of fact, this gentleman over here even reminded me when somebody was walking up behind me, I didn't see someone coming. I think it was this young lady actually walking around the park with her children. And I didn't see that person approaching from behind me, and he let me know somebody was coming so I could step out of the way and let her go by. I mean, you can't get much more kind and polite than that, folks. You just can't. That's pretty awesome. I am absolutely loving watching our human rights, God-given rights, whatever your direction is, whether you're a spiritual person or not, but seeing our rights being exercised here. And just as a reminder, I'm going to cover it again. I'll probably say it a few more times as people come and go from the live. The numbers have gone up and down. I think there's only one person in here with me right now, but nonetheless, we are seeing at least three facets of the First Amendment: our right to assemble, our right to redress government, and our freedom of speech, our right to free speech. All three of those are being exercised right out of the First Amendment, right in front of us, and being exercised in the right manner. And that's just so awesome. I love watching this happen firsthand. I couldn't ask for better. This is such an incredible day. And Old Glory just flying up and down the road. Man, this is great. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic to get to witness this in contrast to some of those more major cities that have people who are hostile and getting violent and blocking traffic and setting things on fire and doing things that are just not what we as Americans should be doing. And we don't want that, and we don't do that. And obviously, our little town here, Hi. So are you aware of which constitutional amendment protects you wearing your mask today?
First. No. Wait, yeah. Because it's freedom of expression, right?
No. Well, I guess, that could be debatable. You're not wrong. You could kind of go that direction.
It's a little...
The one that directly protects it, though, is the Fourth Amendment. Your right to privacy of your identity, especially in today's world with facial recognition. So, but your mask specifically is protected by the Fourth Amendment because you have the right to protect your identity.
Yeah.
Someone did mention to me as I was walking through the crowd today, they were like, oh, I think there was an executive order that you can't wear masks at a protest. And I was like, no, that's not true at all. There is no law that supports that, and the Constitution protects it.
He just came out saying that anyone who wears masks at protests, or there are no masks allowed at protests.
Yeah, you
It's all
can't.
just
Yeah, you
shit
can't
to
tell
say.
people that because the Fourth Amendment protects you.
Yeah.
Again, facial recognition. You have the right
Exactly.
to keep your identity secret if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And you may have another reason. You may have one of 20 other reasons. Could be a medical reason. We don't know.
True.
But you do make a valid point that under the First Amendment, your right of expression, freedom of speech, if that's an expression to
Because
you.
if anything, we would be going to Comic-Cons arresting everyone.
I know, right? Oh, God, I love Comic-Con. There's supposed to be like a baby Comic-Con that goes on at like Bismarck that I want to catch.
We're supposed to have one here.
Oh, we're in Williston?
We had one last year, and they said if it did well that they were going to do it again this year.
Oh, cool.
Now, last I heard they were going to do it again, but I haven't heard any more recent updates.
Okay. But so my channel, I have a YouTube channel, and I have a fairly decent following. A couple people. Anyway, yeah, a couple. The point of my channel is constitutional rights.
Yeah.
So we have no affiliation or opinion whatsoever on either side of the aisle about pro or anti-Trump.
Yeah.
The only
It's
reason.
just about the Constitution.
Right. That's the reason we're here today, is to watch people peacefully exercise their constitutional rights. Doesn't matter which political opinion you have. And what I've been talking about, I'm live now. I wasn't earlier. I'm live and recording on multiple other cameras. But
Awesome.
so earlier, as I was walking by and talking to people, I was talking about constitutional rights that were, 3 of the first are being exercised here.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech, which you already mentioned, freedom of assembly,
Yeah.
and the right to redress our government.
Yep.
Those are 3 of the 5 facets of the First Amendment being expressed right here.
Yes, sir.
And I'm so excited to watch it. And the contrast from like major cities where people are getting hostile or inciting
Yeah.
violence, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here, everybody's being so peaceful and kind. Like as I'm walking by,
The main reason for that is that with the police presence here, they're being peaceful as well in keeping their distance and making sure that.
yeah, and I'm not
we're
trying to invade your space, but I want my mics
No,
to pick
I
you up.
completely understand. But they're here to protect us and keep us safe from anyone who
Right.
do us harm.
Yeah.
For example, there have been multiple people who have tried to coal roll us and.
Yeah, I saw that
pull us
earlier.
black smoke.
I didn't have cameras rolling yet,
But they
unfortunately.
were immediately pulled over.
Right, probably got a citation
Yeah,
because
which
that's
is-
kind of, I don't know if that could be considered battery because you're
I don't know.
doing, because it's smoke, it's not a physical object, but you are like
It's definitely
putting
some
something
kind
on
of
someone.
traffic violation.
At minimum,
Yeah.
at minimum.
Even if it's not against the people there, it's some kind of traffic violation that you
Right.
have. Like, I don't know exactly what you have to do with the truck to
Right,
make
right.
it blow smoke, but you have to do
I do. I'm a
something.
mechanic and I understand
Yeah.
it. Here's the really funny thing is when you see a guy or gal, whatever, you see somebody doing that with their truck,
Yeah.
what they're doing is blowing unburnt fuel out of their tailpipe. That's what's
Yeah.
happening. You're blowing money out of your tailpipe
Right.
that didn't even get used in your engine.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. You're literally just throwing money out the window.
But they're scared for, taking jobs.
Yeah. I try to stay away from opinions on either side, but I absolutely love and seeing constitutional rights expressed out here today. And I do on my channel have contact with law enforcement a lot.
Yeah.
Because law enforcement is the first line that we usually encounter when we're dealing with our constitutional rights because
Yeah.
of what they do for a living.
Exactly.
And they have sworn an oath to protect our constitutional rights. So
Yeah.
hopefully they're all, upholding their oath.
I am glad that everyone out here does feel safe enough to not wear a mask, but from the bigger cities and what I've heard is one of the main reasons why people are wearing them is to protect their identities, but
Yeah,
from
and you have every
facial
right to.
Yeah, from like facial recognition stuff like that. That's also why they tell people to turn their phone onto airplanes and stuff like that. So because they're scared that even if it's peaceful, they're going to come back and retaliate and come and arrest you at your home.
So I'm just checking batteries.
Oh, you're okay.
Don't drop it.
That's wrong.
Don't drop it. I thought I had that out. Yeah, I actually I have a better tripod that I usually use, but I broke it, so I had to switch back to this one. I got one that's like a really stout, just one straight stick with a little pod at the bottom, so it's real fast to open and close. And then when you close it, it's just like a 14-inch grip. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, but with yeah, I was just gonna say with as many cops as are around here, you probably don't want to do that.
You probably didn't see him.
Right. But you wearing the mask, I just particularly wondered if you knew, because if someone does ask you now, you can say, hey, Fourth Amendment protects my right to have my identity confidential. I have the right to that. You know, or even if a law enforcement officer tried to say something. And you can have peaceful conversations with a law enforcement officer, even if you're disagreeing with them. My channel and what I do, I have proven that. I've proven that time and time again, face to face with many facets of law enforcement and other government agencies as well. It can be peaceful. You don't have to be disrespectful to disagree with someone.
It's only an issue when they start pushing on rights.
Right, when they start violating rights.
Yeah.
Or I always start out polite with someone, anyone, including a law enforcement agent. Yes, sir, how are you doing today, sir? What are we talking about? You're very polite question. They can choose where to take that conversation from there, and if they choose to go down the wrong road, I might reciprocate.
Yeah.
But that was their choice, not mine. And I always hope that it doesn't go that way. But unfortunately, we do have to educate people, ourselves as well, because it all starts with us.
Definitely.
Our constitutional rights being dissipated and trampled on starts with us knowing our rights. Any law enforcement agent who wants to trample on your rights, knowing that most people don't even know their own rights, how they get away with it.
Yeah.
If they realize that we're learning and we know them now, they're gonna, even the bad ones are gonna stop doing that, knowing they're gonna be caught in doing that.
And I think that's a big issue with why a lot of things are the way they are, because you know, with the schooling system and everything else, not enough people paid attention to their history books.
Right.
So,
And there wasn't enough education given about constitutional rights.
And education in red states is so much lower than in blue states.
Right.
And I'm not saying that as a fact of opinion, it's just as a statistic.
Right.
So with them probably going into more trade-like jobs, like electricians, plumbers, oil field workers, and all these other things, they don't recall. They may have learned it, but they don't recall everything as well as we can from what we know.
Right.
They just think that
I wish I would have gotten across the street, because there were two of them that had somebody pulled over there.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of times my bigger aim, constitutional rights. So I love it. If there's a traffic stop, I will approach within reason and kind of record that situation and see what's going on. Because that is a lot of times where our rights are trampled mostly, is our encounters with law enforcement. So it's not an anti-law enforcement thing at all. My father wore a badge and a gun for a living. Many of my other family members, the best man at my wedding was law enforcement agent.
I think my great-grandfather was actually a sheriff down in, some town in South Dakota, I think. Or it was somewhere up here. He was actually a sheriff.
Right.
So I have law enforcement in my name.
Yeah.
I have nothing but respect for them.
Right.
But when you try and push on the constitutional rights of the American people, you're kind of creating a problem.
Right. Well, and I've encountered law enforcement agents that are really good folks, and when I ask them questions about at least the first 10 amendments, you know, the Bill of Rights, essentially, even if they can't answer it, most of them that are good, what's the right way to put it there? They are constitutionally minded. They do care about our rights. They'll just admit, I don't know that, and they'll say, man, I need to learn more. Because they're a good person with a good heart. They're trying to do their job correctly. Yeah. They just haven't been taught correctly, but then when I bring it up and I discuss it with them, instead of getting offended, they just say, hey, you know what, I don't know that. I'm going to learn that. I'm going to go look that up and start getting, I'm going to sharpen my own skills and knowledge in that area. Yeah. And that's awesome. It's provoking and promoting the gap to close between law enforcement and citizens.
What I love is that not enough people realize that the Constitution wasn't made to stay the same forever. That's why
Right.
we have the amendment.
It is a living, breathing document that can have things added to it.
Yes, it's only
sure.
there meant to protect the American people and give them a better chance at life.
True. So the rights that we have are inalienable. Depending on whether you purchase or not, you might say cognitive rights, human rights. You know, those rights are given to you as a human at birth. The Constitution was written to tell the government what they are and are not allowed to do. It's a leash on government.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to train myself to stop saying our constitutional rights, because our rights are not based in the Constitution.
Yeah.
They are our constitutionally protected rights. The Constitution is our protection for those rights that were already given to us at birth.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to hone my language, and I still fail at it at times. Even with practice, I still fail at it.
And what a lot of other people don't realize is that if we let him continue like this, that sets a precedent for the next president, if we
Right.
get one,
Right.
that could do the same thing. And if they don't agree with
Right. Man, it's awesome to see, you know, our God-given rights, human rights, being exercised here today, openly, freely, and in the right way. Again, in contrast to other protesters in inner cities, crimes, violent acts, inciting violence with others. Here we are, just being peaceful. Here is our American citizen brothers and sisters just exercising their rights peacefully, and that is awesome. And now I am in live, so I'm going to move on. I want to kind of move around, but I'll probably come back by, man. Great conversation. Thank you for talking with us. So, folks, we're going to take a walk around the horn again here and just kind of see how everybody's doing. It is now coming up on about 10 to 3, and I think this is supposed to wrap up at 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're all free Americans. Y'all can hang out as long as you want.
It's true.
There's nothing to limit our freedoms.
For now.
True.
3.5 more years for him to miss it.
Yeah, peacefully exercising rights. Isn't that awesome? Not the cuff. No, I don't understand. I genuinely.
You know, man, they handcuffed a senator yesterday when she was giving a speech.
Right. I don't honestly keep up with political things that much.
Security thing.
Okay.
She was giving a speech in California.
Right.
All about her.
Right. Well, I mean, I've been out here most of the day, so if there's something going on,
That guy, go ask that guy across the street if he's related to the only critter on earth that ever sued to prove his dad wasn't in
I can't. I'm not sure if he intended to look like Chewbacca though, or like a gorilla, or I mean, it's cool, but I wasn't sure. What's that? That's up to him. Same as several other people here who are also wearing masks. And I actually stopped to talk to those folks to ask them, do you know what amendment of the Constitution actually protects you wearing a mask during a protest? It would be the 4th Amendment. You have the right to protect your identity. You absolutely, under the 4th Amendment, have that right. And especially with today's technology of facial recognition, if that's your intent, is to protect your identity, you have the right to do that for sure. That's what my YouTube channel is about, is constitutional rights. We do not have a political opinion on either side, either direction. There you go. 2 Arms Auditing. The number 2 Arms Auditing. Yep. And I'm not one of the biggest ones. I've got over 1,000 subscribers. I'm headed towards being monetized, and I'm growing. But the concept is that constitutional rights, to bring people together, regardless of which side of the aisle or what opinion we have. That's what we do in our content. So like here today, I don't have an opinion in this capacity as a journalist. I'm not with anyone for or against anyone. What I do love is watching everyone exercise their rights. That is awesome. Hello. Truth matters.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah,
Across the board, hands down,
That's right.
undeniable.
That's right. We don't hear a lot of it anymore. So
No,
there
we
you go,
don't.
you know, so.
No, we don't. And that's why more and more of us are doing like what I do now and building social media channels where it's we the people out here talking to one another instead of counting on controlled media sources.
Yeah, yeah.
It's you and me.
Yeah.
And you can pick up a camera and do the same thing I'm doing.
Sure, sure.
We the people are starting to communicate with each other in
That's
this
good.
way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love it.
Absolutely.
So folks, we're going to take a walk down the line here one more time. Might stop and chat with a few folks along the way, maybe not, I don't know. And I was kind of hoping to go talk to this guy. I really wanted to ask him if he was going for Chewbacca or a gorilla or what his intention was, because it kind of could be either. I'm not sure what his costume is supposed to be. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but like I said, we're free Americans. Yeah, we're free Americans. But we seem to be doing okay on batteries right now to make the final lap. %. 69. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't let's go ahead and and charging. Let's get that battery source connected. %. Let's see what's going on here in this live. We're going to take a walk down this line now and see if we can't chat with a few folks again. We've been having a great day out here. We've had several conversations with some good folks, and we do not have a political affiliation or opinion here. That is not what we do, and we know that anybody who's part of the Two Arms family knows we're here to support constitutional rights. Regardless of which political affiliation or opinion people have, every single one of us is born with the rights that are constitutionally protected. And it seems like everybody's having a good time. And a lot of, no worries. And everybody seems to be smiling and having a good time. People honking going by, and you know, this is what a small town protest, if you will, looks like, as opposed to those bigger cities that are doing violent things. A lot of good folks getting together, having a good time, you know, exercising their constitutionally protected rights. Folks coming by to support them. Some in support, some not, but. Nonetheless, it is awesome to watch everybody doing this. We absolutely are 100% in support of constitutional rights being exercised by any free American. And we need to see more of this for sure. We definitely need to see more of, and us coming together, not just protest, but coming together. And here I am walking around and having conversations with folks, and a lot of peaceful conversations and discussing rights rather than the political opinion or view or agenda. We're just having great conversations, and it doesn't matter what my opinion is, what their opinion is. We all come together on that one thing because we all have our constitutional rights. What? Love Not Hate or this one? She said I have to see your sign.
Oh, see either of them.
Did I get this one when I came by earlier, or is
No,
this a new one?
it's a new one. I went and gave that one to someone else.
Oh, okay. Resides in there.
I've loaded
Not
those.
true. What thing is that? Leviticus 19:33. Yeah, I'll look that up though.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, and it had been scheduled for, what's that?
Did you get what you were looking for?
Oh yeah, tons of free Americans exercising their constitutionally protected rights.
There you go.
And I definitely found that here
Terrific.
today.
So good.
Are you going to report that we all getting paid by?
Oh yeah, don't forget that part.
No. I'm not reporting anything about the political end of it. I really have. That is not the point of what I'm doing at all.
Nobody wants to track you. And were you going to share your YouTube channel with us?
I'm sorry?
Were you going to share your YouTube channel?
Yep. Because we're about wrapping it up now. I was just going to tell him because he had asked me directly. I was just waiting for her to.
So you're not going to go. Did you see him?
Oh, did he? I was hoping to catch him before he left.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a word with him one more time before he took off.
Oh, yeah.
I've had so much opportunity to talk to everyone else over here. And I did talk to him once on my way over here, but I wanted to talk with him one more time before I took off. Two Arms Auditing. The number 2. Two Arms Auditing. That's my YouTube channel. Two Arms Auditing. The number 2, all capitals. Two Arms Auditing.
Okay.
Like Paul Revere. Two arms. Two arms.
Oh, okay.
Protecting our rights.
Sounds good. I'll look it up.
Yeah, everybody's smiling at me. There's another puppy. Hi, puppy. Yeah, right? He has no idea what's going on. It looks like actually a lot more folks showed up because we came by here earlier and there was less people. It looks like fun. I want to do that. And looks like we actually had a lot more people show up down here on this end while we were down there visiting on the other end. But that's pretty awesome. It was a great day, very peaceful, very respectable, and everybody exercising their rights appropriately. Nice. Okay. Simple and to the point. I came by once earlier getting all the signs, but you guys are new. I didn't see you guys when I came by last time.
I'll pray for you.
Hey, Oh,
There's
Can't
extra signs.
separate. There hasn't been slaves for
Amen. You need to read the name at the end. Malcolm X.
because no one can be peace unless they
Oh, it's
have
okay to say
their
don't
freedom.
read.
Next, please. Remember.
It's the Mormons.
Well thought out. Very well thought out. See. Well, Kings, very simple and to the point. A lot of them. You were here already earlier.
Yeah, we made our
I'm
way
sorry?
back now. Are you recording?
I have my own YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
And my YouTube channel, though, is about constitutional rights. We have no political affiliation or opinion on either side. But the idea is what's great for me today. This isn't what I normally do, but we're getting to watch free Americans exercise their constitutionally protected rights.
Yes.
Under the First Amendment, 3 facets right away: freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom to redress your government. You're exercising 3 of your rights right there. And there's some other ones too. People wearing masks, that is your 4th Amendment protected right. How you doing?
Dying of thirst.
Are you?
Even water would be okay.
Going around with a cart offering water. There's a lady offering water at the end.
Oh, geez.
She's walking around giving it to everybody.
But yeah, folks, it's absolutely peaceful here today, which is unfortunately probably why there's a limited number of viewers today, because people are more interested in the big city ones where, you know, there's violence and things being burnt and, criminal violent acts happening. But hey, I'm more interested, and I think that it's awesome that we're watching free Americans exercise their rights regardless of their political affiliation or opinion. That is absolutely awesome to watch that happening. And I apologize, I haven't really been reading comments because I can't while I'm carrying this. I will stop and try to read some comments, folks, here in a minute. But I'm going to take a walk down the other side of the sidewalk here and see if we can't looks like everybody's still having a good time. Not exactly watching me as a pedestrian, so I better keep my head on a swivel, huh? Nice one. So, and it looks like the herd is kind of thinning out. Maybe encounter law enforcement over here for just a second if we can. Boy, they got a bunch of them. Oh, sorry folks, apparently I accidentally turned the camera around. Hold on 1 second, sorry there folks. Turn that back around. There you go. Sorry, extra battery obviously bumped something. Sorry about that. There we go. That might be a little bit better. Hopefully that's a little better. Sorry about that. Got it now. most of the herd of the protest is kind of narrowed down to over here. Still having a good time. And I was going to make my way down to talk to the guy in the gorilla suit, but I think he left, doggone it. Pretty awesome. Boy, it sounds like they are having themselves just a good time. A lot of good folks that are really just enjoying what they're doing here. I've had a lot of polite, pleasant conversations today. Williston, North Dakota, where are you? Hopefully I put it in the description too, that we are in Williston, North Dakota, and this is Harmon Park, and it was scheduled between 1 and 3, and so now it's 3 o'clock, and they're starting to disperse, but of course, I mean, we're free Americans. They can hang out as long as they want to. They don't have to leave. There's no rules, laws, or regulations that say that, you know, you're only allowed to. I think that was just when they intended to be here. So if they hang out for a while more, man, that's them just continuing to express their rights as free Americans, and that's pretty awesome. We enjoy it. And there has definitely been a little bit of law enforcement activity. There's been a lot of them. There's one down there at the light, and there's I don't know how many lined up here. There's at least 4 cruisers here, so at least 4 officers, and some of them are doubled up, so we might have 6 or 8 folks here. But it looks like this whole event has been very peaceful, very cooperative, very American, and I love the contrast compared to other places where there are many violent acts. We have had a good time here today. We have had some great conversations, and a lot of times, even though we differ in political opinion, those human beings are still a whole human. They're not just their political opinion. And a lot of times, even with someone who you may differ in opinion about political things, you can still be friends with them. They're still really great human beings. People that like to your dinner table, you know, just because you have a difference in political opinion. That's not the entirety of what that human being is made up of. There is certainly more to us than just our political opinions. Oh, red and blues going through the light over there. He didn't look fully lit up, though. I think he was just trying to see. Yeah, I would actually like to ask the question of, do you know the Constitution? See if our men and women in blue here are familiar with the rights that they're protecting. Because that is what they took an oath to, that is what they do. Genuinely wonder whether our law enforcement knows what they're doing or not. Getting a bit breezy there, folks. Sorry about that on the microphones. But a little bit breezy. Just kind of watching here for a minute. But I have a feeling that if I walk out there and talk to them, that I've had these encounters a lot. You're in the streets, so are you. but they'll get on to me about it. We are definitely we definitely want to come over here and ask the question. Let's see how long response to such a question. They seem to be having a little huddle over here right now. Don't recognize these faces right off the bat immediately. But boy, it's a great day to see rights being exercised in a peaceful manner, a lawful manner, you know, and being respected. We definitely all enjoy seeing that happen. Old Glory all up and down the street. Love it. Seems to be winding down. A lot of folks are left. There's still plenty. People driving by and honking. Who knows? Maybe the law enforcement over here might actually be friendly. What do you guys think? Let's find out. Hi.
How are you?
Not bad. I was going to ask you folks a question before I take off.
Okay.
I was wondering if any of you guys could tell me the 3 primary freedoms that are being exercised here today.
Freedom of speech, freedom of protest, freedom to gather, right?
Assembly, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
You're on it. You're on
All
it.
right.
One more. Man, you're good.
I'm not sure.
They're all under the first, because there's
Yeah.
5 under the first.
Right.
So, speech,
Yep.
assembly,
Yep.
and redress your government.
Okay.
Those 3.
Okay.
I was just wondering if somebody, knew the answer to that.
Yeah.
But you guys have been doing a great job hanging out over here today.
Oh, yeah, we're not trying to interfere with you
Yeah,
guys at
no.
all, but I don't want people blowing smoke
Yeah,
all over you or making,
yeah.
making a dangerous scene for you guys.
I'm not affiliated with either side of it.
Yeah, and that's why, I told people that you can't, obviously everyone has a right to protest, but you can't be making it dangerous for you guys.
Right, I'm
so.
more of a journalist just interested in constitutional rights, and,
where you
and
out
people
of?
are expert here in
Okay.
Williston. I have a YouTube channel, and that's really all I do is, my channel's about exercising and protecting constitutional rights, and that's it.
Yeah.
No political affiliation or opinion on either side of it, really. But man, these folks did a great job of being peaceful today, having a good time.
Absolutely.
And, I think you guys pulled over a few. Somebody was rolling coal on them earlier.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep it safe and make sure that they're not going to get injured by anybody.
Yeah, and I got to
like
say,
that,
as law enforcement, you guys are doing a good job over here. Like you said, just kind of staying out of the way, keeping an eye, making sure everybody's safe, and not interfering with anything, man. I got to give you guys the kudos for good job today.
Oh, thanks, man. You take
You
care.
guys have a great day. But so actually that encounter went pretty well. He did pretty good. He was pretty on the nose with the speech part, and he was headed for assembly. He was headed in the right direction. I'll give him credit there. But I think a lot of people forget the redress your government, because that's kind of what they're doing, is redressing their government by saying that they are protesting against what a government agency or particular representative is doing that they don't like. So that is redressing your government, for sure. That is absolutely redressing your government. So that's pretty awesome. I think we had a great day here, folks. We're about to wrap it up. Law enforcement's just hanging out, chilling. I don't think there's anything left here for them to do. And all of the folks, these guys are just having conversations probably, and they're going to get back to work. They probably have plenty of other things to do in the community right now. Hopefully good things, not violating people's rights. I know that that's a lot of what we see, witness view on our channel, and many others that do similar to what we're doing. Probably don't want to be speeding through here right now, dude. There's a bunch of cops around here. But Two Arms fam, for those of you who know us, those of you who know what we do, boy, we had an awesome, successful day of being out here in our community and watching folks exercise their rights. Man, this is great. I know I'm redundant in saying it so many times, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth repeating as many times as necessary that it is awesome to watch free Americans exercising their rights, doing it the right way, peacefully, not blocking traffic, not inciting violence, they're not even blocking the sidewalk, even as we walked up and down the sidewalks to read signs, and have a few little conversations. The sidewalks were even completely open for people to pass by. This was a very respectful example of what good free Americans can do to exercise their rights out in our communities. A lot of people honking horns, some in support, some not. And that's okay too. But I think that's pretty close to the end of this day's events. And again, I didn't expect a whole lot of participation because I know anybody who is viewing right now and on YouTube is pretty much probably glued to the other places that are having those I know that it's more interesting to watch those channels that are in those bigger cities with more action going on, but I sure do appreciate those of you who have stopped by and checked out this live to see peaceful Americans exercising their rights. I'm so glad that we got to witness this today. And it doesn't matter what your political opinion is, we are all free Americans, regardless of which side of the aisle you come from. This is awesome. I love it. But, all right, till next time, folks, make sure you have a good day. Do something good with your day. From here in Williston, North Dakota, small town, having a good time, exercising rights. Hope to see you all on the next one, and stay safe out there.